Hi Libra, happy February. I hope you're doing well. Your cards flew out, and they didn't fly out single. They flew out literally in groups of 2. So I feel that too. So I'm going to say take a deep breath, have a little bit of faith, have a little confidence in yourself, okay? You can do whatever it is. I think you feel a disconnect or a confusion is kind of what I'm feeling here, okay? But you have universal guidance here. I think also what I can kind of feel in here is that maybe this is a lesson for you to clear something within yourself. And I think it's the self-dialogue that might have you tongue-tied a little bit. But once you clear that, you're going to get on your path here, okay? Now you've got the Magician, okay, which tells me that you can do it. You've got the will to do it. But I think here you've got the 5 of Wands, okay? That's restless energy. That's wanting to do 1,000 different things at one time, right? It's wanting a relationship, but not wanting to be committed. It's like, you know, I want this job, but I want this one too. I want to try this, but I want that too, right? And they're all great. You can, again, you don't need to put focus into one place, but piece by piece, one thing at a time though, right? And I think that will help you here. Sometimes we get so overwhelmed that we end up doing nothing, right? You've got the Ace of Coins, and that flew out with the Knight of Swords. Okay, you've got a great lineup here that tells me, these are the energies coming in. Okay, how they play out, I will show you that. Okay, or what the opportunities that they're presenting to you are here. Okay, but we have to get engaged in this. We need to do the work too, right? So I would say to you, now is not a time to, I think it's like hit the refresh button. Hit the refresh button. Let's get organized. Let's get our thoughts straight. Let's get our priorities in order. Let's get a practical plan, right? All right, I see amazing things here. All right. What I think is really going on here with the Magician, I think, again, it's kind of like the refresh button for you, I think, is really in the form of reality, right? What is reality? It only really matters what it is to you. Okay, so I think that you've got power over that too. So if you're shooting yourself in the foot with, again, I think these patterns that are clearing for you are where you shoot yourself in the foot, where you think you're inadequate, where you feel you're all the negative bullshit. It's got to flush, and that's what I think is happening. It's kind of like a purge here, right? Curiosity, restlessness. I think you sometimes get out there in something and you how do I say, you don't stick with something long enough to see it through, right? That's why I'm saying you can have the smorgasbord, but focus on one thing at a time. Get a practical plan in place, get it going, and then branch off from these things, right? I think that there's a desire for money in here. I think there's a desire for love in here. And sometimes I think that you don't think that you can have the two, right? And you can. It's just a matter of step by step, inch by inch, is kind of what I feel. Don't focus only in one direction is kind of what I'm really getting here. You know, there's a lot of restless energy in here. There's a lot of curiosity in here, but on the flip side, there's also a lot of maybe getting into something and not wanting to take responsibility for what it is. I'm going to say, look before you leap, you know, and that kind of thing, because I think what's happened in here too is a little bit of this, a little bit of that has, I think we just need to hit the refresh button here. And I think we need to pull ourselves out of places that, you know, the negative kind of lower connotations of the things that we say to ourselves and do that. And you know what? It may be a way that you've done things. There may be validity there. You know what? Maybe I did a shit thing in the past, or maybe I wasn't always forthright, or I didn't do this or whatever. It's not now. It's owning that, taking responsibility for it, and going in a different direction. I'm not saying that you all do this, but sometimes we get hung up there. Like, oh crap, I did this, so I deserve to not ever have anything again. That's not the case. We learn through these things. Okay, so that's what I feel in here too. I think there's things in here that you might think, no, I kind of brought this on myself, so now I kind of jump into the martyr role where I'm going to lay in the bed that I made, right? We learn through these things. If we didn't, I have a lot of clients too that they're wonderful, wonderful souls, but they're somewhere ingrained in them, they're terrified to fail. If we don't fail or feel the wrath of something, we never know, we don't grow from that, right? Look at it this way. A lot of companies won't even invest in another company unless they've seen their track record, right? If a company's never failed, I highly doubt you're going to get a substantial backer in anything. You know what I mean? Because they have no clue what you'll do if you do fail, right? So that's what this is about. Trial and error, focus, not taking anything off the table. If there's something that you want, let's get a logical plan going and let's step outside the box. Okay. I feel too, for some of you, you meet someone in here. That's the beauty I feel in here. You guys can meet people where they're at. You know what I mean? You can wear many hats and relate to many different things. Okay, but I think in that is just, I would say, write a list of the things that you want to do. Then I would go back the next day and prioritize them. Then I'm just saying, make a short list and get yourself out of the gate. And so then you can feel what it feels like to be on the other side of this. I feel a lot of great things here. I see a lot of restlessness though, right? Just practical planning. We just need to get a practical plan. He's here, there, and everywhere. You know what I mean? It's the next shiny object that grabs his attention, but this is also a card of being very, very organized. You know what I'm saying? So it's get an organized, practical plan here. Plant your seeds well. They will prosper here. There is someone either coming into your sphere or someone currently that they hold a vital role in. I can't understand this. They're either part of your fortune or it's a fortunate meeting here with this person. I think you've got two things in here. I think you've got divine protection for sure, but a lot of this has to do with removing yourself from things that are distractive. You know what I mean? Which this is mind stuff, I'm sure. I'm sure it's people telling you can't do this, you can't do that, who do you think you are? It's that kind of nonsense, but it breaks here, and I feel it. But you're going to have to be diligent about this, right? It's, again, hit that restart, refresh button, and stick with this. Stick with these things. If there's things that, are holding you hostage from the past, but you have no desire of doing them, rip up the paper and throw it out and take it off your list. Okay, that's what I've got for these kind of cards. The Ace of Coins is an amazing card to have here. It is saying that it is yours now to plant whatever it is that you want to do, right? But it's a two-sided coin. You can plant something and give it its time to grow, or you can do nothing and nothing grows, right? So the Magician here says you can do it. You can absolutely do it. You're just I'm going to go through your cards because I feel a lot of presence around you, and I'm not quite sure why you wouldn't feel it, or your mind is just going too fast that you're not hearing it. Okay. Now, I'm doing a throw where I see the foundation, right? It's the foundation. You're not going to build a foundation in a day, right? We need to build it slow and diligently so that we don't have a tower moment in a month or two, right? This is something too that don't put a timeline on this. When we build something, it takes a little bit longer, right? It's not something that we're not going to the store and checking things off a grocery list. We're building our lives here, right? On a solid foundation. All right. So you've got the Seven of Coins. Okay. You see what I'm saying? You're starting this. You've got the Two of Wands. Okay. You've got the King of Swords. Now, keep in mind, we came in with the Knight of Swords. So you see what I'm saying? And kings, though, close things out. So you're looking at the bigger picture here. You know what I mean? And you've got the Hierophant here. right? That to me, I think, is deeper in here. Now, what you're going to be doing here to get this foundation going, you've got the King of Wands. He has always got something cooking, always a great idea brewing in that head of his, right? Now you've got the Emperor. You are absolutely in control of your faculties. The Emperor, again, let's take into account stability, structure, needing to take more of a maybe more disciplined role in something, maybe taking the initiative in something, taking a lead in something, right? Right next to it, though, you've got the Emperor, which is Archangel Gabriel in here, which is messages. And this is, it's the only card that you've got in here that's in reverse. So that's why I'm saying, in reverse or not, you've got, the outcome here is the World card. Okay? You have so much guidance here, universal guidance. Angels, guides, messengers, whatever your divine power is, you've got it in here. But for some reason, you're either feeling like you can't do it, or pick yourself up, brush yourself off. That's all I can say in here, because you're really, give me a moment. I think, too, what you're doing in here is you're clearing karma. And like I just said to Aries, you want to watch, my suggestion would be right now, watch your polarity point. Watch the house that looks back at you. That would be Aries. They're also going through the same thing, and not to a certain degree. They're busting out, going in a new direction, but they're having to face some demons, right? And let's just be honest. We're clearing karma here, if you choose to. And karma is not an eye for an eye. That's not what it is. That's universal. You reap what you sow. That's totally different than what I'm talking about. I'm honing in on you. And that's the things we tell ourselves, right? We don't realize that, I'm not good enough, or I can't make this work, or I'm scared. Fear has got me. What if they don't like me? What if someone laughs at me or thinks my ideas are stupid, or they don't go forward? Who cares? You've done it. You know what I mean? So you can tweak it at that point. You know what I mean? This is more about you stepping outside of your gate. So whatever it is that you constantly, numbingly, without even realizing you do it, I'm not good enough. This won't work. I can't do this. Who the hell do I think I am? You know what I mean? And the arsenal, if those are where the things that you're telling yourself, look around you, because I assure you, you've got an arsenal of people that will support that, because you've pulled that in. We want to clear that, and we want to pull people in that are deal breakers, and I'm going to bust through this, and I'm going to try this, and I'm going to go taste this. No matter, who says what to you, it's just a practical approach here. And make sure that it's something that you're thinking about, but that you can lock it down. Make sure you can put a timeline on it. Make sure that you've got the skill set to do it. Make sure that you've got the financials to do it. These are all things here. Again, I really think that it's your power to overcome these kind of things. You're just going to have to trust, have faith, reestablish faith. Maybe you've gone through a lot of things, and it's like I get to the 11th hour and the floor falls out. You know what I mean? It happens sometimes. But I think what's changing here is you're going in a really good direction here. It's just what will hold you back and what will paralyze you and keep you from getting where you want to go is laziness, cutting corners, not having, faith in yourself. If you want to pull your life forward, you want to change your financial standing, you want to change your relationship, you want to get a relationship, you want to grow a relationship, you want to do anything here, you've got to put some effort into it, stay diligent about it, get yourself out of the gate, and then build on that. I think it's just the process which is showing itself here. You've got success sits here. This is a card of completion, a card of success, a card of brand new beginnings here, right? And you're going to feel the presence, I think, if you take a step back and you quiet your mind, because I feel a lot of chatter here. I feel a lot of, I'm not at peace here. I'm not calm in this reading. I think the window's not closing. You're not missing an opportunity. You're just starting a process of doing things in a more holistic kind of way, right? Not being indecisive. Make a decision and stick with it. Follow through with it, right? You're going to take root in something here. You want a foundation that's got roots, and that's what you're doing here. Give me a moment. I want to see where you're tripped up here. Okay. Look long term. See, look at the gates here, okay? See, you're inside, you're outside, right? You're caged in, you're let loose. We need to go within, we need to pull on the past to be able to go forward. We're not stuck in any particular spot and we don't have too much. Sometimes when we've got too much, we can't break that down into bite-sized pieces. And sometimes when we're caged in, we can't think bigger. You're in between the two, is what I feel. Okay, so I would break it down, get your plans in place. You know what I mean? Do you want to change a job? Do you want to change a living situation? Do you want to change how you think about things? It's all got to start with the inside first. And you've got to get off the fence, because if you continue to weigh things and weigh things out, that's where indecisiveness comes in. And then you're in this relationship and you're not quite sure, maybe there's something better. You're in this job and you're not quite sure, maybe there's something better. I just bought this house, crap, maybe there's one better. Do I really want this car, or should I look at all these? Find out what really, really feeds your soul from the inside, because without that, you're not going to get out of the gate here. Things are always going to change. We're always going to buy different houses. We're always going to get different cars. We're going to meet different people. We're going to engage in different ways. We're going to communicate in different ways. I think the dilemma here is how you're communicating. I think you've either lost trust in that, or someone has squashed your dreams, which is sad, because this needs to be about you, coming from the inside out. And that's how I think this is going to grow. You've got the only guidance that you really need to listen to now are your guides, your angels, and yourself. And that comes through, if you've got an idea about something, explore it. Don't let your brain get in there and tell you 10 ways to Tuesday why you can't do it. Because that's when laziness and procrastination fits in, right? When we have this kind of lineup here, it's overwhelming. So what can that do? It can freeze us where we're at. It can push us back, or it can propel us forward in like a wild card kind of way, where nothing is going to get accomplished. And we're most likely not going to want to, it's not going to be sustainable. It'll be a tower moment in a month or two, right? We're looking to build a solid foundation here with roots. The Two of Wands is roots, right? It's growing something, stepping outside of the box, but having a plan, right? And getting there. Kings are master builders. They're master builders, but they've got a lot of responsibility. But when they come in, it's usually at a point where we're breaking something down to start something new, right? It's like the fields have been tilled, they're clean. Now he's standing there on like the barren land. What can I grow from this? What do I do now? What do I plant now? What's the next harvest going to be? Because your harvest sits here. It does. It's just you've got to get out of the gate and trust yourself enough on this, right? I would pick apart what will move you as a whole together first, and I would start with that, right? And then build upon that, because what will happen there is you're changing from within, which means you're going to align with people that are going in the same direction as you. There's an alliance in here. There's an alliance in here. I don't so much see it in the cards, but I feel it. There's an alliance in here that it's someone that helps you in this. I feel that whatever this is, you're pulling something forward here. First and foremost, I think you're pulling something in a tangible, like a business arena, or something you're trying to do, or a plan that you've got. You align with someone in here that is priceless to you, and they help you with this. I think that whatever this is, you may be going into a partnership with someone. Okay, I don't see any cards in here that would say that anyone would be dishonest about this. I think if there's any kind of distrust here, it's you within yourself. Like you're not trusting yourself. You've got amazing cards of success in here. You have 1, 2, 3. You've got 3 Arcana cards in here and 4 counting the Magician, right? You can do with this what you choose to do. You've got amazing cards in here. They say new beginnings, but you've got to let go of these things that I think are working against you, which would only be you, right? Do the relationships that you really want for yourself, what are those built on? Ask yourself that first, because that's going to say you've got to know yourself first, right? And if you're confident in that, then look around at what's looking back at you, check Aries, and see if that's something that you can build on, right? There's a reason, though, that I feel you either feel like you're again, you've got a confidant here. You've got someone here that's going to help you with this. I just feel this this energy of you've got to stop that, because this is too intense. It's very intense. I can't make a rational thought out of this, out of this, what I'm getting here. I would say don't focus in one area as your grand plan. But I think you've got to focus in on one thing, though, to get yourself out of the gate. I would ask yourself, because I think the ticket to ride really sits in here. Will you move a mountain for it? Will you invest in it? Right? Will you invest step by step in it? Because whatever this is that you're doing is not something short term. It's something that you're going to need to like really grow roots to. So that's going to take some time. You know what I mean? So do you have the energy? Do you have the time? Is what I'm trying to accomplish gonna cut me off from like the rest of my family, or if I'm trying to do something in a career, is that going to leave time for a relationship? I think that that's where you're not quite sure what to do, where those two can bridge, but they can if you get a practical, slow-moving plan in place here. Because I don't think you're doing this on your own. I think you may start out on your own, but I feel like someone crosses your path here that really helps you with this. Okay? And I feel that whatever it is that you're doing is successful, but there's a fortunate person or someone is aligning with you, and it bridges something that's a fortune or fortunate. Either way, it's a good alliance. But this kind of energy it's too much. It's what I'm reading kind of is like when I read for someone that has it's just too much. You've got to slow your mind a little bit here. You can have it all. You've just got to get out of the gate first. I would be conscious right now. Of if you're trying, how do I say this? It's not so much what you say, it's how you say it. Sometimes I'll get a lot of clients that say, well, I was honest with them, right? And I will say, and they were, but the delivery was like, holy crap, I don't know what you would have expected to get out of that, but what you got, like a slammed door, right? And these usually come in the form of relationships, right? And they come in the form of too clearing consciousness, right? Like someone does something and they think, I can't go forward in my life unless I tell this person what I did just so I can clear it. You're not helping that other person. Most likely, if it's a relationship scenario, you may clear your conscience, but they're not going to forget what you just slammed them with, right? So be clear about those kind of things, because that's where I'm saying, I think in here somewhere there is a thread that we grow through the things that we do that we screw up with, right? We just do. And sometimes that has higher carnage than other times. But the point is here, if that's what's holding you up, ask yourself, did I learn something valuable from this? And if you did, then let it be that. Let it be in the lesson and pull your life forward here. Okay, it's about, I feel like what you're doing is you're taking responsibility for things, but I think there's other things where you're beating yourself up with, and you're not hearing the messages that are coming in for you. You would not go out with the World card here if you weren't supposed to forgive yourself and move on to something, right? Like forgive whatever this was. It could be something you said to someone. It could be something someone said to you. You know what I mean? But whatever it is, let it be. And get on with the show here. You know what I mean? Whatever this is, and this is kind of the energy that I'm feeling here, and people say this is a minute card. I don't feel it is. I think it's the things that we tell ourselves will either show us we're divinely connected, or they'll keep us in this repetitive chatter. I think that whatever this is, you're moving on from it, right? And I think that it's something that at one point you thought was solid. It could be a job, right? It could be something like that. But whatever this is, I think you're moving on to better things here. You're planting better seeds for yourself. And I'm telling you, there's a delicate balance here. I really feel I've got to keep out on these windows, because you either feel like you're held hostage or you've got too much free space. And too much free space is like the devil's playground. And by that I mean things that we do that, you know, we spend money here just because we've got free time, or, you know, and it ends up costing us in the end. That's what I'm saying. So get your plan in place. Build your foundation. I'm going to say here with these two cards, you absolutely have control over and power of your own creative energies here. And you can absolutely build on this. Absolutely. And look what you're looking at. It's like you want it all, and you can have it all. You know, you've just got to figure out what that is and why you're cut off from this, right? Give me a minute here. I need more material. Okay. Practical wisdom, right? And by that, I'm talking, that's different than knowledge. Wisdom is like, I'm honest with myself, and I know where I've screwed myself over, and I know where I've held myself back, and I know where I've blamed other people, and I know where I've played the martyr, all the things like that. You're purging all of that, and that's kind of what I'm feeling in here. And that's a good thing to do, right? What is the advice? Give me one card of advice. One card of advice here that clears this clutter for Libra. Clears the clutter. What is the catchphrase? Give me one card, please. Three of Coins. Three of Coins. Trust in yourself. Don't get worried. Look at things differently. Communicate differently with people. Right? I'm going to take this too. Okay. I have to stop looking. Woo! All right. I have to stop looking. I could look forever. Chariot. Success. This is what I'm feeling. This I feel is there's a fated relationship in here for you. There is a fated meeting of someone who either helps you with a job, is a coming in as a romantic partner. It's a new alliance of a present relationship. There is another person that is key, pivotal in this with you. Okay, and that's what I feel in the Chariot card. And that is a card of success as well. Okay, Six of Coins. Aries just got this. Equilibrium. Get your mind, body, spirit in alignment and know where you're going. This is a whole person here. And you are. Eight of Swords. You've reached the plethora of what you can do with this. Shut your mind down, because your mind at this point is just spinning. It's like, did you ever... Men are going to love this. Did you ever get your car stuck like on ice and you just floor it thinking at some point it's going to come out of there, when in fact it doesn't? It just becomes a repetitive kind of whatever. That's what you're doing here in your mind, because I feel it. Okay? You have got everything in your power to pull yourself out of here. This is a card of fear, or places where you've held yourself back and now you feel like there's no way out. I've backed myself into a corner. That's not true. We're coming out with the World card. Sometimes people will say, I feel like I'm disconnected, like nobody, nothing is coming in alignment. You've got all of this here, but sometimes your guides and your angels, they will step back, and because you're supposed to learn a pivotal lesson at that point. And I'm not talking something that kicks your butt. I'm talking like we're going to let them exhaust how many ways they can talk themselves down and poo-poo on themselves, and then we'll step in. So with Archangel Gabriel in reverse, which is coming in as the Empress card, is like, you don't think you deserve this, or you don't think you can do this. You can. It's the bursting out of it. I think it's the where will this go, and is this worth the investment that has got you tied up. But that's where you ask yourself, will I move a mountain for it? And if you will, there's your answer. Because we will move a mountain for very few things. But if you can answer that question, I will move a mountain for this, go do it. You know? And you've got the 3 of coins in here. There's a lot of anxiety in this card too. But it's a different way of looking at things. It's also, where am I putting my energy? Right? Where am I putting my energy? Are these people worth it? Is this place worth it? Is this job worth it? Is whatever it is worth it? Right? 3 again, like Archangel Gabriel in reverse, which is the Empress, it's the bursting out. If I want to do this, I've now got to maybe get a skill set for it. If I want to do this, maybe I need to save money on it. Are you willing to move the mountain for it and anchor it down? That's all. You've got massive success in here. And what is success? Something you start out with and something that you end. It does not always have to be financial and tangible. What you're doing here first is you're purging stuff to make room for some really good new stuff. And I feel that there's an alliance that comes in here with you. Okay? You're looking for something more here too. That's what I feel. What you're looking for, you're like, there's nothing here on this planet that will sustain this, that will quench this thirst. It will. Once you flip this upside down, you'll know what this is. You know what I mean? And I have a feeling that it's in something that you do that makes you feel so good. You know what I mean? It could be anything. It's something though that you're fully engaged in. And there's another person in here with you doing this. So there you go. I hope that I helped you in some way. Quiet your mind and this will come together. Okay, watch Aries too, your polarity point. That may shed some light on this. I don't think anything I'm telling you is a surprise. I think that where you end up is a surprise. And I think it's a really good surprise. And you ask yourself, how did I ever get here? It's because you shut this down, right? And you get off the fence. And when we are in limbo and we do everything for everyone else and we put expectations on everyone else and ourselves and we start that train running, and it's like we don't even know what way is up anymore. You know, you've got some great things coming in here for you. And I think one thing first and foremost that I will say is you've got universal guidance in here. So most likely what's happening is once this calms down, you'll get clarity on this. But I'm not saying be complacent. Get your list out of things and places in your pathway here and keep working through that. Okay, you're building a foundation here that's solid. You've got 2 kings in here. One is creative and one's got the plan. There's no way you cannot do this unless you don't want to. Right? So, there you go. I hope that I helped you in some way. If you want a private reading, please reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to do anything for you. Okay? Thank you so much.